The crash came first, loud, sharp, and followed by a splash of muddy water. Tessa Moore jumped back just in time as a black SUV screeched to a stop in front of her, sending dirty rainwater splattering across her clothes and the sketches she was holding. "Hey, are you blind?" she yelled. The tinted window slid down. A man in a crisp suit and dark shades leaned slightly forward. "Sorry, I didn't see you." His tone was calm, too calm, the kind that only rich people use when they think an apology can fix anything. Tessa glared. "You just ruined my work." "I said I was sorry," he replied coolly, rolling the window back up before she could answer. The SUV drove off, leaving her standing in the rain, furious and soaked. She didn't know it yet, but that man, arrogant, distant, and maddeningly composed, was about to move into the apartment next door. 2 days later, Tessa was dragging her laundry upstairs when she froze. The same SUV was parked outside her building. Movers were carrying boxes into the empty apartment beside hers. And there he was, the man from the street. He looked different in casual clothes, dark jeans, gray hoodie, baseball cap. Still too polished for this neighborhood. "You've got to be kidding me," Tessa muttered under her breath. He turned, caught her staring, and smiled politely. "We will meet again." "Unfortunately," she shot back, pushing past him. He chuckled softly. "I'm Ethan." "Tessa," she said without looking back, "and don't splash me this time." From that day, she heard him everywhere, faint footsteps, quiet jazz music, late-night phone calls that stopped when she passed the hallway. He was mysterious, private, and annoyingly polite. But curiosity always finds a way. The next week, the power in Tessa's apartment went out. Again. She sighed, grabbing her phone for a flashlight, when a knock came on the door. Ethan stood there, holding a small toolbox. "You okay? Your lights went out." "How'd you know?" "I heard you curse loud enough to scare the hallway," he said, smiling faintly. She almost laughed. "I didn't know you fix lights, Mr. SUV." He shrugged. "I do what I can." 10 minutes later, he had the power running again. Tessa handed him a mug of coffee. "Thanks, you saved my night." "Any time," he said. "So, what do you do when you're not yelling at drivers?" "I design clothes," she said proudly. "Affordable ones for real women." "That's impressive." "Not really," she shrugged. "Rent's due, clients pay late, and I'm one electricity bill away from designing in the dark." He chuckled softly. "Then you're stronger than most CEOs I know." "Funny," she said. "You talk like you know a few." His smile faltered. "I used to." There was a brief silence, charged, curious. She wanted to ask more, but he stood. "I should go early tomorrow." "Sure," she said, watching him leave. Her heart raced for no reason she could name. Over the next few weeks, they kept bumping into each other at the corner cafe, the grocery store, even the mailbox. Every time, Ethan was reserved but kind. He always listened more than he spoke. One night, she found him sitting on the apartment stairs, staring at his phone. "Rough day?" she asked. He looked up. "Just work." "What do you do exactly?" He hesitated, then said, "Consulting." "Consulting," she repeated. "That's the kind of job people say when they don't want to explain what they actually do." He smiled faintly. "You're not wrong." They sat in silence for a while, the quiet kind that felt safe. Then Ethan said, "You know, it's strange. You talk to me like I'm normal." "You're not," she teased. His eyes softened. "Not lately." Tessa didn't know what he meant, but something in his tone made her chest tighten. Days turned into weeks. Their friendship deepened, morning coffees, shared meals, laughter that felt too easy. One evening, she modeled one of her new designs in front of him. "Well," she asked, turning. He blinked. "You look amazing." "Thanks," she said, grinning. "That's my goal, to make women feel powerful." "You already do," he said quietly. Their eyes locked. The air grew still. For a moment, Tessa thought he might reach for her hand, but his phone buzzed. He stepped away quickly, answering in a low tone. "Yeah, I'll handle it. Tell the board I said no. Bored. She frowned. When he returned, she asked, bored of what? He hesitated. Just a small company matters. She folded her arms. You're hiding something. He smiled, deflecting. You watch too many dramas. But deep down, she knew he wasn't being honest. That weekend, she went to the cafe near their street and noticed a man showing the barista a photo. Have you seen this guy? Her stomach twisted. It was Ethan, same face, same eyes. Who's asking? She interrupted. Reporter, the man said. Ethan Cole, billionaire CEO under investigation. Disappeared 2 months ago. Her heart dropped. Billionaire. She ran home, opened her laptop, and searched for the name. The results hit like a slap. Ethan Cole, CEO of Cole Dynamics, accused of corporate fraud. There were photos of him at galas, on magazine covers, shaking hands with presidents. And there he was, her neighbor. When he knocked on her door that night, she opened it holding her phone up. Ethan Cole, she demanded. He froze. Tessa, please. Don't please me. You lied to me. I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you everything. She laughed bitterly. Oh, that makes it better. I thought you were broke, kind, normal, but you're a billionaire hiding from the world. I moved here because I needed peace, he said softly. I didn't expect to meet you. You could have told me. I was afraid, he admitted. Afraid that if you knew who I was, you'd stop seeing me. Her voice cracked. You're right, I don't see you anymore. I see a liar. She slammed the door. And for the first time since he'd moved in, Ethan didn't knock again. Days turned to silence. Ethan's apartment stayed dark. The music stopped. Tessa tried to work, but every design she sketched felt empty. Her mind replayed his words, I was afraid of losing you. Good, she muttered. He deserves it. But her voice trembled. One night, she scrolled through her phone and paused on his photo, the man she thought she knew. Why does it still hurt? She whispered. If you're feeling this moment, don't forget to hit like. It really helps the story reach more people. And tell us in the comments, what would you do if you found out your neighbor was secretly a billionaire? Don't forget to subscribe for the emotional second half of the Billionaire Next Door. The days after the confrontation dragged like slow rain. Ethan's apartment stayed silent, blinds drawn, lights off. For the first time, Tessa missed the sound of his footsteps in the hall, the faint hum of his music through the wall, the warmth of his voice. Every night she told herself she didn't care. Every morning, she woke up wondering if he'd moved out. Her friend Lee noticed her mood. What's wrong? You look like someone stole your favorite sketchbook. Tessa forced a smile, something like that. Is it about your mysterious neighbor? Tessa sighed. Turns out he's not who I thought. He's Ethan Cole. Lee's eyes widened. Ethan Cole, as in billionaire tech giant Forbes cover private jets. Yeah, that Ethan. Lee whistled. Girl, if my neighbor was a billionaire, I'd borrow sugar every day. Tessa shot her a glare. He lied to me, Lee, about everything. Lee's tone softened. He might have lied, but did he hurt you? Tessa froze. No, but he didn't trust me either. Maybe he was scared, Lee said. People with everything still fear losing something real. Those words haunted Tessa long after her friend left. Across the hall, Ethan sat on the floor of his apartment, scrolling through old headlines. Cole Dynamics cleared of fraud ALLEGATIONS. He won, but victory felt hollow. His assistant called. Sir, the board, expecting you in the morning. Congratulations, by the way. Ethan looked out the window, voice flat. Thanks, but I'm not going back. Not going back, you're free now. He hung up. Freedom didn't mean peace. He looked toward Tessa's door and whispered, I didn't run from the world, I ran to her. That night, he opened the sketchbook she once left in his living room. Pages filled with designs, raw emotion, and a note scribbled on the back. To anyone who ever doubted themselves, you can still build something beautiful from what's broken. Ethan smiled sadly. Then maybe it's time I build something beautiful for you. A month passed. Tessa's fashion career was hanging by a thread. She'd been rejected from a local showcase. Again. The day she got the email, she sat on her couch, tears welling up. Maybe I'm just not meant for this. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. Hello. A woman's voice replied, Is this Miss Tessa Moore? I'm calling from the City Fashion Guild. Congratulations, your brand has been selected for next month's show. Tessa blinked. Wait, what? How? I didn't even reapply. Someone submitted your portfolio on your behalf, said your work deserved a second look. Who? I believe his name was Ethan Cole. Her breath caught. He did what? Before she could ask more, the line went dead. That evening, she returned home to find her apartment door slightly open. A warm light flickered inside. She stepped in cautiously. Her breath hitched. The entire room had been transformed. Her sketches framed on the walls, fabric samples neatly arranged, soft instrumental music playing in the background. In the middle of it all stood Ethan, wearing a simple white shirt, holding a thick folder. Tessa froze. What is this? He smiled gently. Your dream finally funded. She blinked in disbelief. You can't just buy my dream, Ethan. I didn't, he said softly. I just gave it the wings it needed. He handed her the folder. Inside were contracts, brand proposals, and a showroom lineup with her name at the top, Tessa Moore Designs. Tears welled in her eyes. Why would you do this for me after everything? Because you believed in me when I didn't deserve it, he said. You saw a man, not a billionaire. You treated me like I was human again. I can't change the past, but I can prove that my feelings were real. She shook her head. You can't fix trust with money. He stepped closer. I'm not trying to fix it, I'm trying to earn it. Her lips trembled. You hurt me. I know, he whispered, and I've lived with that every day since you walked out that door. For a moment, neither spoke, just the sound of rain tapping softly against the window. Then Tessa's voice broke the silence. You really believe you can just show up and make it right? No, he said, eyes glistening, but I can wait until you're ready to forgive me. She looked down, tears spilling freely now. You're impossible. And you're unforgettable, he replied. He turned to leave, but she called after him. Ethan. He paused, hand on the doorknob. She took a shaky breath. Did you ever mean it? All those nights, the coffee, the talks, the laughs. He turned slowly, eyes filled with sincerity. Every second, you were the only real thing in my world of lies. Her voice softened. Then stay. He froze, uncertain. She stepped closer. Stay, but this time no masks, no secrets. He nodded, voice cracking. No more secrets. He took her hand gently, and she didn't pull away. They stood there, quiet and trembling, hearts beating faster than the rain outside. And for the first time since the day they met, there was no wall between them, just truth. Weeks later, Tessa's designs dazzled the fashion showcase. The audience cheered, reporters swarmed, and cameras flashed. Backstage, Ethan watched silently from a distance, pride glowing in his eyes. When she spotted him, she smiled. Didn't think you'd come. I wouldn't miss it for the world, he said. She held up one of her designs. You know, this line's name was inspired by you. Oh, he teased. What's it called? Next Door, she said. Because sometimes love doesn't knock, it just moves in quietly. He chuckled, stepping closer. Does this mean I get a front row seat in your life now? She smirked. You already had one. As the spotlight dimmed and the crowd cheered, Tessa whispered, Thank you for not giving up on me. Ethan smiled. You made it easy to keep believing. They shared a soft kiss, simple, slow, and full of everything words couldn't say. In a world obsessed with wealth and power, he found something rarer, forgiveness. And she learned that not every lie is meant to deceive. Some are born from fear of losing the only truth that matters, love. Soft piano fades in. The screen glows with the city lights outside their window. If you feel their story, Don't scroll just yet. Hit like to help more people find the billionaire next door. Tell us in the comments, would you forgive someone who hid their true identity out of fear? And don't forget to subscribe for more emotional billionaire stories every day.